Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, I'll speak up a little bit since the tractor is running. Well, my name is Chester C. Hutcheson, and I was a city marshal here in the town of Merkel for 2 years. It was a fateful night, April 12th, 1936, when I and myself and my partner, J.E. Tucker, got a call. What we thought at the time was just like any other. Before I go too much into that story, I'll back up a bit and tell you a little bit more about myself and how I came to be. Now, I was raised on a small farm west of Merkel. My father was a cotton farmer. Mama kept the house and was in charge of us kids. Now, life on the farm was hard and the days were long, but it instilled with me a passion for hard work and a sense of justice for a very early age, and I took that with me throughout my life. A few years down the road, I met my lovely wife, Abby Ruth, and together we had 3 children. And we made our home and raised our kids right here in the town of Merkel. Some may call it the Windmill City. Now, you know a little bit more about myself. I'll take you back to that fateful evening. As I said before, we got a disturbance call at a dance hall on the edge of town. Now, I'll share with you that this dance hall was a well-known location for what some of us might call ne'er-do-wells and certain illicit activities. One of those being dominoes, card games, and the worst of all, dancing. So we got a call, and I'll be honest with you, this wasn't even the first call of the night at this location for a disturbance of the peace. And so as myself and my partner approached the dance hall, we expected the worst. We formulated a simple plan. I would approach the front door, and my partner would approach the rear, preventing any sort of escape. And so as I went to the front door, I knocked loudly, made myself known, and entered. Before I could even take a second step, I was shot at point blank range. Before I hit the floor, the suspect had fled on foot and was last seen headed east to Abilene. Now I was immediately rushed to the hospital. Doctors worked all night long to save my life. Unfortunately, early that next morning, I passed from my injuries with my loving wife and mother at my side. Now, word of the murder spread quickly throughout the area, and officers and volunteers from local communities in Sweetwater, here in Merkel, Abilene, Baird, Clyde, you name it, formed together with a penchant for justice to hunt this killer down. And hunt they did. From door to door, they tore it apart. They looked through every house, every home, every building, until the perpetrator was found hiding in a servant's quarters in a large house just east of Abilene. And in his cold, sniveling hands was the murder weapon, a 6-shooter with 5 bullets and 1 empty shell casing. Ironically enough, the weapon that took my life couldn't help him serve the consequences of his actions. Now, I was survived by my wife and my 3 children, both my parents and many other relatives. And it was said that my ceremony here at this location was well attended, maybe the most well attended in history here at the cemetery. Officers from around the state came to pay their respects for me. Now that you've heard my story, I ask that you remember me not for how I died, but for how I live and how I lived my life. Thank you for hearing my story today. I was born in 1903, so I was 33 years of age when I died. Yes, 3 young children and a wife left behind.
Still have relatives here?
That I don't know. Grancy, would you know the answer to that question?